towards that the best that I can.
Okay, now I'm waiting for Kriti Lata. She is ready. She's from Mauritius, and last time also she had joined. So we start actually the discussion. That will be better. And I would definitely request Tony to take the initiative to begin with. Actually, this is a general discussion, and then I tell you what exactly is the main objective and what we can do together as a team of the friends and like-minded people. But definitely, I like to hear first, and then I'll add up when my turn will come. So, Tony, we begin with Tony first. Yes, please.
I didn't know you were going to call on me, but that's okay.
Yes, Teresa is also joining from US.
Oh, this is straight from my head or straight from my heart.
Okay.
Just for me, I've always been interested in symbols and have been working with them for many, many years, and have a very deep connection with the labyrinth symbol, which is a symbol of our journey in life. But overall, the symbols, and I know you shared on your Facebook page one time passages from Alice Bailey and some of her work about symbols and how, and how they, it's not only the pattern or the design, but there's layers of meaning and messages in the symbol, and depending on your state of awareness, you can see those layers and you can access deeper information once you're in that state of mind, or in that space where your mind is clear and your heart is clear, and you can access a lot of information, because a lot of the symbols are divinely inspired, or they're people who are in meditation, particularly ancient symbols. They're people who are in meditation or in a higher state of consciousness, and they access these symbols and they draw them or bring them into reality or into the earthly realm, and so that they're available for us to access and to tap into the energy of them, as much as just how they look and how they appear. How they look and how they appear is only, for me, it's only the very first step. And if you can, the next step is accessing them with your mind, but finally for me the third step is accessing them with your heart, and just becoming at one and have your heart resonate with the symbol, and then you will generally see and experience what the original creator of the design, or the original person who brought through the design or the symbol was accessing. How's that?
Oh, that's fine. Teresa, can you hear me? Teresa? Hello? Teresa, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Please unmute your video. We are limited members here, so we can, yes, that's wonderful.
Okay.
Seeing you after a long time. Last time, actually, she missed our Global Wellness
I know,
Summit.
our power went out. It went out yesterday.
Electricity failure.
We have had that a lot. I'm trying to turn up the volume.
So we could hear Tony and the discussion will continue. Now I'll move to the Beata. Yes, please. Please share your views. If you have come across or studied some kind of a symbol, and what is your realization? Do they really impact the human life or not?
Absolutely, 100%. I believe everything is symbolism. My degree is in anthropology, and so right away, one of them, and so right away, like from the very beginning, like I'm seeing, like, studying these native cultures and indigenous cultures all around the world, and I'm seeing that these same symbols right from my youth is like represented everywhere in various forms on different temples all around the world. I'm like amazed and fascinated, like, how is this information not known to everybody? How is it that nobody is seeing this and connecting it, like, even in the very beginning? And I do not believe that there's any such thing as coincidences, even going into numerology, or everything being mathematical or created in this divine function. And these symbols are completely so important, because the representation of that Even the way the mind, the brain works, it's that repetition that what ingrains something. And they these divine symbols and symbology and everything that exists, you know, you can't get away from it. Seeing the same number, everything, synchronicity, symbolism, it is a way, it's a beautiful way to relay something that has such a depth of meaning in a short pictorial way, going through every ancient culture, and still very much used today in so many ways. You see it all over the place. Yeah.
Is she audible to all of you?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Please carry on.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know where I left off, but yes. So going down throughout anything from math to science to art to creation, the flower of life, the way the astrology and astronomy works, the cycles and the sacred geometry of everything, their symbolism and everything, you cannot get away from it. It is exactly, it's the pictorial description of our living life, you know? Okay.
Okay.
May I just add something? I agree, of course, with all this, and I would like to add the animals as symbols, because they're everywhere and they're coming all the time. And
yes,
I believe my first touch with that was when I was like 6 years old, and it was with a ladybug, and it's like imprinted in me since that age to look for symbolism and meaning behind
the ladybug. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have, if everything is energy, right? The animals, they have a symbolic representation of a specific energy to and a meaning assigned to, and it's always going to relate that, you know, and they're going to carry that spirit. So you see this one, you see it, you're still relating that symbolism, that energy to the animal, to everyday things. Like, I know. So I know plants too. I mean, everything in existence.
So we move to Beata. Please share your. Then we'll go to Jena and listen to her, and then Kriti Lata, and then I'll listen to Shomik, and then I'll come to the main agenda of our meeting. Yes, please, Beata.
Yeah, I love the symbols too, and probably my knowledge is not that great as yours, but I was always drawn to the symbols, and since I remember, they were always there, and as Teresa said, really amazing, and it's almost not possible to see them and notice them. And also in my culture, because I was born in Poland and I'm living in Holland, but you know, from my own culture, we have such a great treasure of beautiful symbols, and they are really amazing. They're really amazing, and you can feel the power of the symbols, and you know, people use them everywhere, and also the secret geometry. So this is something amazing that I would love to explore more, because I am really drawn, but my knowledge is not that great as yours. But definitely they have something magical, they are alive, and they can change things. And few years ago, I have received some very nice symbol from you, Dr. Surendra, and it was my birthday gift. And it's really amazing, beautiful, loving symbol. So I still carry it with me on my phone, and it's giving me the, like, you know, I'm always happy when I see it, and it's like giving me that sense of abundance. So I really appreciated that symbol very much. But yeah, there is a lot to it, and I would love to discover more. So I am so happy to hear from you guys your stories, because it's so interesting. So thank you. Very nice to meet you all, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Now, what do you like to share, Jena, about the symbols, the power
I think
of
everybody's
symbols?
been quite descriptive about symbols and the meanings of symbols, and you know, the history of symbols. I mean, I think it goes back so many centuries that, you know, I don't think, as much as the knowledge that we have today, I think we don't have enough. I think there are some hidden, lost ones that still exist somewhere that we have to, you know, find and search for. I think it's a mystery, you know, the whole thing. And I think we use symbols are used, whether it's in logos and for business, for personal spirituality, for I don't know, for manifestation, and it is an energy, and that energy is what is probably moving us towards or away from something. And not all symbols are positive ones. Let's be honest. Sorry, my puppy is scratching, so I apologize about the noise. I'll put him here and he can see you. Oh. There you go. And absolutely, I think you nailed it on the head when it came to animals as well. It is an energy, and we are all energy beings. So when we're looking at symbols and it's being used in subliminal messages, whether it's in, I don't know, you know, if you go on The Simpsons that predicts different things, you know, it can go back into not just deep history, but in our everyday life that people don't pay attention to or recognize. And I think that secret kind of that secret energy, and it is a secret energy that people are using it for in different ways, whether it's good or bad. I think that's the collective consciousness that we have to really have upon that, you know, because it is something, and it's used in education. I'm also specialized in educational psychology, so would love to talk to you, Diana, and maybe I can give you some support in that as well. So, and even in neurobehavior, which is my speciality, neurobehavior coaching, we look at the brain and the pathways of the brain, and all of that is a symbol of something. It's an energy that's associated with something. So when we want to look deep into that, sorry, maybe I've taken a little bit too much time because I really want to give it back to you, Dr. Das, but it is used in many different things, whether it's a red dot or a triangle with a third eye in it, or anything. It is an association of a meaning of something, and that energy, and it does go into the language, you know, when we go look, we're using letters and using shapes and using patterns or using sequences. It's all connected. So yeah, I'm very happy and feel privileged to be here today with you guys to learn more from Dr. Das. And you know, it's something that's fascinated me along with stones and crystals, and it's something that is gonna, you know, I think continue to fascinate me. So thank you guys. Dr. Das, it's yours.
That's great, Jana. Actually, last time Shomik could not join us, so we'll request Shomik now to kindly share your views about the symbols and what is your experience interacting with them or using with them. What do you say, Shomik?
Well, firstly, I wanted to extend my hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. I extend my greetings to all of you, and I'm really privileged to be part of this discussion. I don't think I'm qualified enough to talk about symbolism to that extent, but in my knowledge, in Indian culture, symbolism has come from deep meditation by the rishis, and they saw, you know, the whole universe is energy, it's consciousness, and they in meditation they saw various symbols which have been created which mean various things. For example, Om. Om has a symbol, is a symbol. Shivalinga is a symbol. So all these represent various cosmic energies and various cosmic realities. So when we, when we pray or when we look at symbols, it's just not a design. It has far more depth and far more realities than we normally would associate with it, normally, under normal circumstances. So I think, Dr. Das has done fantastic research in this, I believe, and I think the realization would be that each symbol that, the rishis have, not designed, I would say, revealed to people, to humanity, all these symbols have deeper meaning they are actually various levels of cosmic energies and expressions of cosmic consciousness. So this is something I think which we need to do a tremendous amount of research and understand. And when we really, what should I say, pray or associate our minds and everything with those symbols, we actually attract those cosmic energies. So I think it is very important for us to understand what these symbols are and really associate those higher energies and higher levels of consciousness with those symbols. That is my 2 cents. Thank you.
Doctor does disappeared somewhere.
I think his camera was freezing.
It was, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, he's out of the room. He'll come back.
Yeah. Well, maybe everybody can say what's their favorite symbol.
God, I think I haven't actually identified mine yet.
That's something really hard to be able to pin down to one, but maybe the most used one.
Well, I think there's a lot of I mean, there's a lot of emphasis on the third eye, isn't it? That's the main, one that people remember if it's a symbol, whether it's associated with the third eye or the Illuminates or it can, and that's what I'm saying, it can be interpreted in many different ways, and I think people fail to realize that. I mean, we're talking positively about it, but it can have a very negative connotation to it as well. I mean,
yes, it can have a control connotation too, right? And taking away of power. Everything has a duality. It does. So every symbol, or like, look at the swastika. It can used to symbolize a terrible genocide and also a very sacred symbol. Everything can be inverted and used in whatever way. And you mentioned that, like, how you use it is very important. The energy going into it, the intention. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think when people meditate, I think it's a bit like TM meditation. I think it's I think you can develop, everybody has their own secret kind of mantra that they kind of say throughout that meditation. But I think everybody it would be very powerful if everybody had their own symbol. I know it's created but if they have their own symbol I was watching, I can't remember what it was the other day, but it was manifesting through art, so your own interpretation. So there's this technique where you have, I don't know, a piece of paper, and you close your eyes and you think about what you want to manifest, and then you just let your hand draw whatever it comes out with, and it comes out with a powerful symbol. So whatever that drawing is the symbol and a representation of what you're trying to manifest. So it's not specific.
Energetically feel and express.
So it's not specifically what you want to manifest as in, but it's a symbol that represents that, and that's actually a more powerful way of attracting.
Right, and to then see that everywhere. Post that symbol everywhere. Yes, absolutely. I love that.
Absolutely.
That's how. Yes,
that's one.
That's what you see how powerful it is, right? Or why use an advertising and everywhere? I mean, you can't avoid it. It's like there's a message. What message do you want to tell yourself? Yes. What do you want to be reminded of?
I think maybe we can utilize this moment. I'm going to contact Dr. Das. Has everybody got a piece of paper and a pencil? And I think maybe we can think about the word love and close your eyes, really feel that energy, feel that power, and draw whatever comes out, scribble whatever it is. So if you've got it, and then we can show each other.
To intention.
Take a few minutes. Oh, wow.
Are you showing something, Jana?
Yeah.
But a little activity that's happening. Maybe you want to join. So, Dr. Das, are you there?
Yeah, actually, there was some problem in between. It got, I was not able to connect. Now,
No worries. So, I'll just fill you in. We just did a bit of an exercise. And I said we were talking about manifestation through drawing, and that drawing, closing your eyes, and whatever the scribble comes out as, it's a symbol associated with that type of manifestation that you want to create. So that's a powerful way of attracting it, and that becomes your unique symbol to what you want to, whether it's love, relationship, money, health, wealth, anything. And we just did an exercise. Has everybody done this? I've got mine.
Well, mine is
too intentional.
And I mean, if you look at the similarities as well.
Yeah.
The similarities.
Yeah, Diana is also showing something. Yeah. Okay.
Mine looks like this.
Oh, music.
Music.
Lovely. Lovely. Dr. Das, would you like to start?
I'll be showing you different cards when my turn comes. You please carry on. Actually, my signals are, I'm just going up. Please, this is causing some connection issue. I'll be showing you some cards. I'm able to see. I'm going up. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So you are drawing something and other people were following. Yes, please continue. Then I'll add up something. I've got everything here in my hand now. Okay.
Great.
But before that, I take up. Should I intervene, Jana, or you are continuing with something?
No, please go ahead. We were just doing a small exercise.
I'll just ask Kriti Lata now. Before that, I am fully convinced what Shomik had pointed out. Because what he pointed out and what is my ideology or philosophy or experience, and this is more or less having the same kind of essence. And then I'll give more inputs to you. So before that, Kriti Lata, I would like to share with you your ideas.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody from Mauritius. So nice to see you all. Yeah, you know, this study of symbols and so on, it's not my field, but I'm going to learn a lot today from you people there, and especially Dr. Surendra Das. You're an expert in it. But so far that I wanted just to share a small experience on my side on, you know, symbols. And when I was 16 years old and studying, you know, shorthand writing. So shorthand, you know, when you take shorthand, you have to take in the form of signs and symbols only. And then to convert it into a language, that is our medium here is English. So when I started my first career, when I was appointed as a typist stenographer, and I have 120 words per minute in writing shorthand. Wow. So this was my first job. And it was really, I don't know, when you're talking about energies, so I'm thinking whether this was an energy for me that I received, because it was my first career and my first job, and coming from a very, very poor family. So this helped me, you know, while taking the notes from the, you know, I was working with the government whip of Mauritius, and taking everything that he says, quickly when he was talking and taking it in symbols on my paper, Pitman writing, shorthand writing, and then going back to on my typewriter, and then to put it in the English medium, the doc, to produce a document from it. So I think for me, this symbol, it has really created, you know, this ripple effect in me. And now when I have been invited by Dr. Surendra Das to participate, I wanted just to share this with you. And I'm really emotional when I'm talking about this. And you see, and I'm going to learn a lot more. And we know about I'm from the Hinduism. So a lot of, you know, sign and symbols that we have in Hinduism. For example, we have when we get married, we have to wear our tika, the red tika, and then we have our red vermilion on our forehead. All these things, I think it's really something which brings energy to us. And even when we are praying, just like Shomik just said, you know, in our prayer, we put them in front of us and concentrate on this. We know God is one, but through this, we are praying. So we have a lot to learn, even in music. I think Diana presented something in music symbol, and then we have in chemistry, in mathematics, and even, you know, and as director, founder director of a school for the children with disabilities. And I wanted to add something also here on the sign language that we do with our children in school. So you see the gestures and coming with our hand for the deaf and dumb children. And this sign language also, we are communicating with them. So you see nonverbal communication and symbols like showing them the bread. And we have just celebrated our Independence Day and doing our independence with them for our flag and so on. All these gestures, signs and symbols, they are really, really, really very meaningful and important in our life. So I'm really very happy to be here to learn more from you. And thanks to Dr. Surendra Das for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all.
It's a pleasure that you've joined us. And I move to Diana, and then I'll take over the thing. Diana would like to share something?
I wanted to add something that maybe we forgot, Chakras. It's a very important symbolic in Chakras, and it's been through the ages. You mentioned red. In Bulgaria, red has been associated with protection. It's the blood as well, and it has very powerful meaning. When the Asian Bulgarians, when they were getting married, they had red veil on top of the bride. That's the word I was looking at. So I know in China, they do have red weddings as well. And it's the other part of the world. And things are, again, coming in together. But for me, symbology has been, I've never studied it like in research, except from my own desire to learn something more. And it started at 6 years old with the ladybug. And it's been going on forever with science as well. A lot of science that has been coming to us through dreams, through life, through everything. Some I've had one in the sky and one in a dream that I still don't know what's their meaning. But it's something that it's very interesting for me to explore things like that. And maybe it's my own sign that showed up. But it's interesting to find things like that happening and showing up in one area of your life. That sign from the sky, I, after that, saw it 2 years later in my OB-GYN that I gave birth to my child with her. And she had it in her earrings, and it was the first time I was seeing something. So something like that, it had a huge meaning for me. So sometimes signs, it is the observer that gives the meaning of the sign that they're looking at. And there is some energy that they receive, yes, for sure. But it's also their energy and the way they translate it into their own field and the way the part of the sign that they accept in themselves and they let feel. So That's I'm not very familiar, like professionally, with signs, to be able to maybe even tell a lot about them, except the most popular ones. But I'm really interested to learn a lot more.
I totally agree with the colors. And I think in India also, I think the brides wear a red sari, is it? In the Indian culture?
The red sari as well as the red veil.
Yellow,
So the red sari for the wedding, yeah. And also numbers, you know, numbers are also, I think it'd be fascinating to see if every symbol that's created, it has a frequency or a sound that's associated with it. It'd be very fascinating to kind of indulge into that. It's something I'm very fascinated in, is sound and frequency and vibrations.
Yes, I read that different colors have different reactions on the body, you know.
That's correct.
Or on the mind. So
exactly.
yeah, on the brain. So basically, I mean, that's why you associate different types of colors with different types of, you know, events.
Yes.
Yes, and absolutely, like sound and frequency. I mean, that is exactly tied into energy, frequency, vibration, and that is where Om actually comes from. It is supposed to be the sound frequency, and the vibration of the sound of Om is exactly that. Yes.
That's the primordial sound. That's when, you know, from the subtlemost point to the material level. The first sound that came in was Om. And that's why actually everywhere, Om reverberates everywhere. Even the sun, apparently the NASA scientists are saying the sound of the sun is Om, and everything else also.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and so it directly, everything has a hertz and frequency too. Yes.
Well, when you're doing a chakra cleansing meditation, and there's sometimes a frequency that's a really powerful frequency, you're also imagining the location and the color of that chakra when you're trying to cleanse or balance, or, you know, so it's very fascinating, isn't it?
I went even a little bit further when I do, like you said, the chakra cleansing. I try to do it by days, like we start with red and we move along, and I try to eat the same food, the same color food, and dress and wear that same color, so I can kind of emerge
that
more.
power and that energy.
Yeah.
So I just now take up the what you call the whole discussion into a little more organized way, so that we reach to a conclusion at the end of our general discussion. Now, for your kind information, if you talk, my association with symbols is right from the childhood. Even I just make things very interesting. When I was hardly 8 or 10 years old, I used to do those kind of a thing which people in the Wiccan practices they do in Europe, where, you know, they take a piece of paper, draw something, then light, you know, they take a candle, and then we say whether it is going to be fulfilled or not, which I was not knowing at all anything. It was all intuitive, but I used to enjoy that as a kind of a game. And out of 10, 6 people were very much convinced by what I was doing it actually. So this is how, you know, I was deeply connected with this kind of a practices. Now, for the past 2 years, actually, I have devoted more time. Actually, I prepared a dictionary, or rather, I should say, directory of the symbols of the prominent civilization. This work actually I did 5 years before, but since last year, I devoted more time. And then I'll just make a mention that out of more than 24 different civilizations, I picked up 8 main civilizations. And they are mainly, if you talk Celtic symbols, we talk about Mapuche, Aztec, Egypt, the Greek symbols, the Indian, when we talk about the Christian symbols and the Hindu symbols and Buddhist symbols, as far as the religion is concerned, and Chinese symbols, of course, I will talk about. So I'll just show you some of the cards, which will just give you the pictures here. of different where Celtic, Greek, and Egyptians, you can very well, I'll just show you very quickly. These are some of the cards. Sorry, this is go this way. I'm not going to explain each one, but I'm showing you the different shapes of different civilization. As I picked up, they are also symbols from the West Africa. This is of course rune. You might be familiar about the rune.
It looks Nordic, yeah.
This is also very popular one, isn't it? Which we use for realizing different purposes are there. So likewise, I'm just giving you a quick look about that, so that you come to know what are the actual symbols which I sorted out after studying 8 main civilizations. The these are some of the very, very prominent 10 power. Interestingly, I have scanned the energy, and I also took the aura of all these symbols, and then we found they really is not merely feeling the energy, but we have the aura photography, where you can take a photograph and you can see the aura, whether it is very bright, it is colorful, it is larger, or it is small. So this is you must be knowing, it's also very powerful symbol which Celtic civilization that they use. Likewise, Adinkara, this is Adinkara symbol actually. In West Africa, it is very popular. So likewise, you will find quite many. I think this will be very popular. This is Rune, isn't it? Fehu, actually.
Yeah, the runes, yeah.
So coming to the point, what I did that these are some of the individual symbols, and then what I did, the most interesting aspect, I categorize them into A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Why? Because each symbol is related to something. The energy they radiate and the way it interacts at as far as the cellular level is concerned, the environment, our aura, and as far as the entire what you call the composition of the human body is concerned,
the energy.
According to them, we find these are just I'm showing you that some can be very well used. For example, as far as there is one particular issue, isn't it? Now you will find the happiness is concerned, the stress is concerned. This is one grouping where I have picked up very selected symbols. Then this is another card. You can very see. This is A category. So they are somewhere related either to health, or they are related to some kind of what you call spiritual development, some kind of a materialistic development, as far as the relationship is concerned, the depression is concerned, depression. Yeah. Jena is here, she's a great psychologist. So we can very well use this. I'll tell you in detail that they do have a role, I tell you, because I experimented first within 6 months in my circle, in my family, and then outside my closer circle, and then I am speaking to you. So each group, if you see, they are related to some kind of issues which can be comfortably handled and resolved by using the particular symbol. This is another group. Okay. Likewise, as I say, so many cards are there and grouping is there. And as you say that more than 24, out of 24, I chose 8. Now I come to what exactly the history. I was talking to one group and Shobit, I was talking about Lemuria. I think every one of us has talked Atlantis civilization, Lemuria, and Kumari Kingdom. Kumari Kingdom, that is related to the Indian Ocean or the Pacific Ocean, which is at the tip of the southern part of country is concerned. Meanwhile, when I discussed, I was asking Shomit to provide me some material. And then, of course, everybody of us is very, very busy. But then I took a lot of time, watched hundreds of videos on YouTube. I consulted, downloaded the material. And you will be happy to know that all these symbols which I am talking about, actually they are coming from three main sources.
Wow.
Atlantis, Lemuria, and Kumari Kandan. Because basically these were one of the oldest civilizations which, due to the what you call the natural disaster, it might be a tsunami, it might be volcanic eruptions, you know, or it might be something else, that they got submerged. One of the very interesting thing I'll tell you, anything when you read about Atlantis and Lemuria and the Kumari Kingdom, there are always two opinions. One is a very, very scientific. The archaeologists have worked, the scientists have worked, and there is a scholars only. Those scholars have the hypothesis. I've taken the papers, research papers, the findings of the archaeologists and the scientists, and also the scholars, the background in the history. And today I can talk to you very confidently that yes, these civilizations really existed. They were far more advanced than what we are today. And second important thing, that these civilizations were not developed by the human beings, but they were developed by the extraterrestrials. And here I like to make two important books. One is Eric von Däniken, who has written Chariots of God. This I studied actually 10 years before. And I was fully convinced about him that if you happen to read this book, it is a marvelous, amazing book. Second book, which I would like to show you here, it is also very important. Can you please see this book? This is by John A. Keel. He actually researched into the extraterrestrial phenomena. He visited large number of countries. This is Our Haunted Planet. Okay. So I have gone through the books, the literature, the videos, and then I concluded, yes, there is a reality that all these Atlantis, Lemurian, and Kumari Kingdom civilization, they were actually developed by the extraterrestrials, which we call them the aliens. We had, if you talk in terms of 50,000 years before, if you talk about 60,000 years before, actually, we take up the Paleolithic period, Neolithic period, and Mesolithic period. That actually doesn't go much more. Only the early Stone Age goes 2.5 million to 10,000 BC. Fine. So any of these civilizations actually were 10,000 BC. By the time we had people in the caves, actually, the cavemen, and the way they encountered them and they describe them in their, mythology, isn't it? We still, there are large number of people, they find it in our Puran that Lord Shiva was extraterrestrial. Even the scriptures are speaking about the Lord Shiva came from Shivlok. And where the Shivlok was, what is the condition of Shivlok? So majority of the intelligent Indians I'm talking about, religious Indians, they definitely believe that at least the Lord Shiva was an extraterrestrial. He came from the other. So likewise, I'm coming why this background I gave up, that I very minutely want the spiral, isn't it? The Tony is using labyrinth. So the spirals, the circles, if you talk about, I just make a mention in my last talk when I had it about the Pranic Symbology, that one of the paleoarchaeologists from Europe, she studied 30 caves of the Ice Age, and she has selected 32 symbols which were actually engraved on the caves, 32. And they were very common in almost all the caves. And the time period was different, the location was different, how they became so common. And when as far as my research is concerned, my finding, the most of the geometrical figures, whether they are square, they are circle, they are rectangle, they are triangle, they have a huge meaning. If we happen to see the southern temple of India, especially I like to draw your attention, If you see their architectures, the marvels, if you talk as far as the architecture is concerned, how they have used the geometry in building those temples, which has a lot of energy, which conveys a lot of energy. So my point is this, that what has been done by 30,000 years before and 40,000, the cavemen, they were drawing something from where the idea they got it. They had a reason. So we take up the extraterrestrials. Then we come to next part, that these civilization, Atlantis, Lemuria, and Kumari Gandam, they were actually developed by these. And whatever the marvelous thing of the ancient periods, which many of the archaeologists, with many of the people who did it, they found some artifacts, they found some if we happen to read the, what you call this, Eric von Däniken Cherry, he has mentioned more than 3 dozen evidences of different, he kept on visiting number of cities and countries, and then after spending 15 to 20 years, then he wrote that book, which became one of the most best-selling book actually as far as Europe and America is concerned, one of the very popular. And the evidences cannot be ignored, because when you see, you do the carbon dating and you find it out how old they are. They are very modern, if we talk about, very technical, very mechanical, but how 30,000 years before, how 50,000 years before, who brought them, who invented them, who manufactured them. So there are solid reasons to believe that. Now I'm coming back to the symbols part actually, that these symbols are definitely deep rooted to the old ancient civilizations, isn't it? They are gifted. As you say, they are not simple a circle or triangle, but they do convey a meaning. They do carry a kind of an energy, and they, as we say, that something is scripted in this structure. Now, I'll tell you one thing, how will you get the experience of it? Now, you one day, you please sit down, not right now. You make a sentence, make circle, and inside the circle, make the triangle. And then make it a small square there and feel it, how you feel it. Then use another drawing. Likewise, you make at least 4 to 5 drawings, and one of that drawing, because the permutation combination of the geometrical figure will create energy. You get the point? Everything which we scribble may not have energy. Everything has an energy, but may not have the energy that you can feel it. So different permutation combination you will make it. You will find that you will be able to create those symbols by your own self, that they will have the energy and you feel comfortable about that. Now, it is a different part of it, that what meaning they will be having and where are they going to, this will be again a matter of the research. Now, why I discuss all about it and why I actually invited all of you, that the word which I coined and gave it, the Pranic Symbology. I like to draw your attention. Pranic healing, I think most of the people are familiar with the pranic healing. But the symbols have been now taken, selected symbolizes that I've got nearly 30 to 40 selected symbols, as I said, in the cards are there, and then individuals. And everything is related to one particular area, issues, isn't it? With the human issues, psychological problems, emotional problems, financial problems, relationship problems. And they do have a positive. So pranic healing, now we are talking about pranic symbology. The symbols are energized. They already have energy. And you gave the Reiki energy, you give the pranic energy, you just have a prayer to the God Almighty, the Creator, isn't it? And invoke the blessings, isn't it? As we do the Wiccan practices, and you will find that the magic will start happening. Magic. This is whatever the study I have done, whatever the work I have done. Now, why, when this is there, then why this team together, the friends, this is my only humble appeal, the request, that why don't we join hand together, and this discipline of pranic symbology, each one is independent, each one is an expert in his own field, but then definitely all the hands, when we join hands together, I think a bigger picture can emerge, every bigger picture we can emerge. And we can definitely relate it to the extraterrestrial. We'll definitely show how they are connected to the old civilizations, isn't it? How they are going to impact life positively. All these things can be done. In psychology, we can use. In healing, we can use. For management, Swamik, I talk about the symbols can be used as for the huge scope I'm talking about is for the architectures. Now, you know, this is a separate discipline. Any building you make, architecture is required. And I'm just sharing with you that it so happened that my younger daughter, she is there in my city only. They are all from the medical field. She's MDS. My son-in-law, he is the MD. He has done PhD. Can you imagine? He has used Reiki symbols in the temple, in the house temples. And
I love it.
Communication so beautiful. I'll share the photographs individually later on. And he simply came in our contact because he's my son-in-law. You get the point. But then, and he also had undergone, you know, the second degree Reiki by my elder daughter. She actually Kamna, she must be listening over here. She's the wellness coach actually. And our house name is Reiki Villa. The house which now is called Reiki Villa. And we are all channels. We are all channels. So my point is this, that this particular team, if we join hands together, we can give, in architecture especially, I talk about drawing room can be designed by using one specific symbol or two specific symbols. A lot of energy will come, I tell you. You can use a specific symbol in drawing room, some symbols in the office. You will find you need not go to anything. The architectural design, isn't it? Or you can have the wallpaper and can put it on the background, either the bed or the writing table or where you are worshipping or where you are going to have your dining off. Even to that extent, there is a scope of symbol. Don't you think that it can not only that transform the one individual's life, but the entire society is going to be benefited. The impact of these symbols everywhere, every walk of life. You get the point? So I think in nutshell, I've given you a broader picture now. The small work which I have done, my study, my background, and then coming to the conclusion that each one of us, what I am going to do, all those who are present in the meeting, I'll be sending them one symbols. Okay? A soft copy. Labyrinth expert, we have got Tony. So if you want anything to take it, Tony will be provided, and we will be using labyrinth also. He has actually correlated labyrinth with the 7 chakras of the human body, you know. It's a very wonderful work he has done. Now, I only think that I have done extensive work, extensive research, gone beyond my limitations, and then I concluded my latest book has come, Key to Wellness, has been published. It is available on Amazon. I will be writing the book what I'm talking to you, but I'll take some more time. So I think by September, October, this book will be on Pranic Symbology will come, where I'll be correlating to different civilization and the aliens, and then how they can be used. It will take few more months time. So my point is this, that we have now action agenda. We have got a goal, and it has the utility, and everybody is going to be benefited. And first, I would like you to experience in your life. So I'll be talking to you where you want, because I have got all varieties. You know, you feel, simply message me that you want a symbol for who can really be helpful for in such an area. Anything. Or you energize your house, or it may be any kind of. And please get a digital print out of that. It will be a soft copy. Take a digital printout, either make a postcard size, isn't it? A bigger postcard size, or you make a poster size, that is up to your choice. And then I'll tell you, though all of you, most of you are energy healers, you can give energy, Reiki energy or pranic energy or whatever the energy you call it, or simple blessing. I'll tell you a very simple method of energizing also, okay, which you can do it. isn't it? And then experiences for 15 days, just 15 days. And when you are convinced, we'll start working together.
That's amazing.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, because I think that we as a friends, isn't it? We as a part of, we are not formal here, but we are very informal here. What I have drawn and learned, see, I basically, I'm an academician and educationist. Then I entered into holistic field of health more than 15 years before. But then I learned Reiki. I did the mastership in Reiki Grand Mastership. I learned all pranic healings, right from the basics to the psychotherapy and to the crystal. Then I had learned more than 1 dozen type of the meditations, the reflexology. You get the point, and especially the Chinese different kind of Qi, Tai, Chi, Kung. I'm talking it about. My daughter is actually the expert, and she gave the demo when we had the global wellness program. She had given the demo also.
Wonderful.
So that is Qi, Tai, Chi, Kung. That is one of the most powerful energy exercises. So all these things I learned, that we developed, and then finally we say yes, yes, we have now the panacea. We have the Ramban Aushadhi, and why not we share it? We do it something. And not only that, the last day of the Global Wellness Summit, I had shown that I have converted them into the products. I have converted them into the products, the symbols. But here I'm not talking about any selling of the product. Please see. I'm talking it about Pranic Symbology as a discipline, and we, as a team, if we can join and if we can promote this discipline, with this can be used in different psychology, in marketing management. Okay, we can talk about in counseling. We can talk about in healing. We can use as a teacher. You can use, if you those who are the teacher, they can definitely make use of handling the children with kritilata, children with special needs. There are certain symbols which can be used. So likewise, there are large number of areas where these symbols can be used, but with a proper system. Because I am not a mantrik or tantric. I come from basically academic field, a very serious academician. So I cannot play fools, I have to be very serious. Unless until I got convinced, I studied, got convinced, experienced. And first I start with my family, then the friend circle, and we got very, very positive result. So you please only mention through the message for which particular area you would like to have. I'll definitely in a day or two, I'll send that soft copy to you and have a digital printout of that, poster size or postcard size or whatever the size, and then how to use it, where to keep it. You do that.
Yeah.
You keep it in your bag, in your purse, wallet, if it is a small size, your drawing room, your reading room, counseling room. Yes, Teresa,
Can
you want
I
to say
say
something?
Yeah, I know, because this is just way great, because I literally, I've had these visions or dreams too of like a color-coded system of like communication between like husbands and wives and children's, or you put magnetic strips on the fridge and it's like this rainbow color and symbol means this, and like this whole way of communicating like through like these magnetic strips on the fridge of like, I'm feeling this is my emotional mood right now, like. And so I'm hearing all this and what you're saying, and here post this symbolism, and it's like I've totally been thinking about that, how to work with that with people. What is it expressing that they cannot express themselves, and I just see this exploding, like.
So wonderful, endorsing and conveying your feelings. Yes, so I now take your feedback at the end of it. Each one of us, whatever you feel like saying at the end of, from your viewpoint of view, and the whole complete picture which I have portrayed before you. Yes, please.
But I think it's. I'll start.
Yeah.
I think it's been a very enlightening and empowering conversation, actually, and I think we've learned a hell of a lot from you. So I want to say a big thank you to you, Dr. Das, for your time, your energy, your intelligence, your wisdom, and your knowledge about that, and also your creation of Pranic Symbology. I think it's fantastic. Very fascinating and very I think there's a lot to it, and I think this is a beginning of a beautiful journey, especially in the I don't think the symbols are limited to what you've discovered so far. I think you're going to go on to discover more and more and fascinate us even more. So I'm very much looking forward to understanding more about that and seeing the different symbols. I think it's fantastic if they can be used. Oh, well, not if. It's not even a question now. I think you've sold it. I think it's going to be fascinating to see how different clients respond to the different symbols, and how their energies transform. If so, in which way it will transform. Whether it's I think we will do. It's a bit like I know you've done a lot of research within your family, but I think it'll be interesting to see how it would be with different cultures, different belief systems, religious belief systems. I think it's very fascinating what the next step for this research would be. And I think from a psychologist point of view or a healer point of view as well, I think I've got a lot of deeper questions I'd love to discover along the way with everybody here. Hand in hand, whether it comes to, I work with a lot of children with neurological deficits as well, and children with, I specialize in children with autism. It's one of my specialties. So I'd love to speak to you, the lady from Mauritius. Is it Kritila Lata? Sorry, I'd love to speak and see how I can actually support, because I do a lot of projects and support all over the globe. So I would love to have a conversation with you afterwards. But I think absolutely, Dr. Das, it's very intriguing where this will go, I think. And I think we're just at the beginning of this journey together. And it would be, I'm just really intrigued of what different symbols come up. And I'd like one for children with autism to see how they are affected by it and whether they have that inner magnetism, whether that's switched on or not, or we have to switch it on for them throughout the therapy for it then to become more aligned.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, Tony, what would you like to say? Tony?
Yes, again, thank you, Dr. Das, for a wonderful presentation. It really resonated with me, and I try and listen with my head and feel with my heart when you were speaking, and there were many times when I could feel the energy of the symbols coming through, particularly when you shared one with the very first group symbol. So I don't know what that one is, but if you could send that one to me, because I could really feel a beautiful, strong energy from it. And
that's great. I will definitely be sharing with you. Yeah. Should I show them again or later on?
Later on, maybe. Yeah, I can't even remember what it was because you went through them so quickly, but I could feel my heart opening with the very first one of the group of 4 together you showed. So that was very special for me. And I think maybe it's just for me, and maybe at a different time the other ones would be. I think that's the beauty of the symbols, that at different times we resonate with different ones, and so when you have a catalog or a group of all different symbols, it's like you wear different clothes on different days, so that you will resonate with different symbols at different times, depending on what energy you need or whatever energy you need to send out to people. So my mind is doing overtime also. So it's a fascinating area, and I'm delighted to be involved and to be connected to all of you.
All your feedback is actually strengthening the concept which I'm talking about. And with such a wonderful team, I tell you, anything and everything is possible and we can do it. Yes, Beata, would you like to say something, Beata?
Yes, I would love to, because I am so very much excited, and oh my goodness, I can't wait. I think I will be very happy to use it in my practice, because this is such a special time of great awakening. We are shifting from the ego-based mentality to the heart space. And I work with a lot of people who are going through the traumas and inner child work, and it is happening so quick, so much. And I think it will give great opportunity for people to just, have some strength to go through, because, people are shifting so quick. And it's just like the right time, because, I do so many beautiful things with the people. And, it's like the heart and brain coherency is really waking up. We are thinking differently. And I think this will be helping us to reach the next stage faster, because, we have so much to go through right now. And I don't know you guys, but in Holland, a lot of people are waking up, and there is something that we need to go through. It's like rebirthing place for something new, but there is a lot of pain and also a lot of, like wisdom from the parents, from the old people, it's coming up, but not like the trauma-based reality, but they had also the beautiful knowledge that they sharing with us, and it's popping up, and they're willing us to work with us, with the beautiful knowledge to embody not only the wounds and the karmic stuff, but also just the knowledge, because I think we need to share the heart space and create something new. So I would love to really, really work with the Pranic symbols. It's like, I've got this gut feeling like, yay! So yes, I think it's gonna be really nice for those people who are ready to receive it. And maybe even because the symbols are really like matching with our state of being. So I think everyone will be profiting from it at the stage that they are at. So
yeah, here one thing for the kind attention of all. I think how many of you are familiar about dowsing? Dowsing. We have the pendulum. Tony is very familiar. I think other healers will also be familiar.
Yes.
So the symbol has to be matched with the individual aura. So the right matching of the symbol is done through dowsing. Okay. Then it is definitely going to be useful. But this is a certificate, because that is a spiritual energy. This is a life force energy, dowsing which we use. So matching is also be done. More technical part will take up later on. Yes, Diana, what would you like to, your feedback?
So my first desire was to go in PhD and become a professor, teach in university, do research. So my mind is always kind of research going. And so what I was thinking is that actually a research study can be done regards kind of adding to what Zaina was saying about how the different symbols affect the different people from different cultures, what are the parameters and the personality as well, what are the things that play a role in that, and will actually have an effect and a higher effect of the symbols so they can be implemented in the most efficient way. And this will also be the scientific way of presenting it to the world.
Great. Shomik, what about you? What do you like to?
Actually, yes, Dr. Das,
yes, please, Shomik.
Yes, I just wanted to express my deepest gratitude to you for presenting this science. Actually, this was definitely a science which the ancients knew very well, and they implemented it at every point. In fact, the ancient Vedic temples in India, especially in South India, are an example of that. The fantastic architecture, the science that is involved over there, and the symbols that are used to energize people. And I think, we know from the scriptures that, people interacted with, the higher beings at various dimensions, including, as you mentioned, Lord Shiva. He was an alien. In fact, he is from the Shivalok, so in that dimension. So basically, we have been interacting in ancient times with these higher beings, and we know this science and so many other sciences which made us exceptionally advanced. And I'm so glad that, unfortunately, we have lost it. whatever may be the reason. So now I think you have taken a very wonderful, step in bringing this science back to the civilization. And I think we need to understand it, learn it once again, and share it and educate people about the importance of using, these symbols as instruments of energizing ourselves and uplifting our consciousness more and more.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful feedback. Kriti Lata, yes, please. Just when Dayan actually has joined very late, we are ending up the session. I don't know why he became so late. He's our friend from Bulgaria. He's doing a lot of work on self-learning. Actually, the time everybody knows about it, I do not know what happened to him. It doesn't matter, but at the end, he has joined. That is a good thing. Yes, Kriti Lata, please, your feedback.
Yes, doctor. So very interesting today, and I could have, I felt the vibes, when you were showing the cards and so on these symbols. It's really very interesting, and thank you for sharing all these today. And I have come to know a lot of things on this, and especially for pranic healing, which is very important, for my school and my students, because we have multiple types of disability, starting from autism, to Down syndrome, deaf, dumb, physical disability, mental disability, and low intellectual, and so on. So I think this would be very, very interesting to use this, changing from, every day they are taking their medicines and coming to this, to symbol healing them. I think this will be very, very important, very interesting for my school, for my student, for the life of my children, and especially for parents also, they are facing, traumas every day with their children. And now, today, as we are today, we are in lockdown because of COVID-19. So all children are at home, and parents are facing a lot of difficulties with them, and exam is maintained. So, and in my school, I have 5 students sitting for the national exam this year. So next week, exam has been maintained in this condition, and we are talking to them. We are on phone, on WhatsApp, and trying to get them with us, together with us, just to share, this situation, to come out of this situation, which is really very difficult for them. But I think symbol healing, pranic healing will be very advantageous for them. Thank you, doctor. Thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you. It's very, very encouraging, and I can feel that yes, this particular team, with the support of the team, with the participation of this particular team, the entire concept of the pranic symbology will going to take newer dimensions, and the higher, you can say, the horizons will definitely collectively shall be reaching. Please don't forget to share the area for where you would like to have a particular symbol. I'll be sharing it within a day or two. And at the end, Mr. Dehan, you could not be a part of it, but then definitely I'll be talking to you later on, and personally we can talk about that. It's a wonderful interaction after such a long period of time with the great souls. Thank you very much for joining this wonderful meeting and participating and sharing. And then I wish that is going to be a proper good mission for this particular thing. Thank you so much. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.